you have reached 911 has been changed to a non-published number. No further information is available about 911.
Hello, boys and girls. It is Tanya again. Yes, I have to tell you, I'm in my 9th month, as most of you know, of topical steroid withdrawal. And my body decided, after a long period of, calmness, my body decided to flare up again. Not only did it decide to flare up, but for a while I was not having any nerve pain. Maybe a little bit here and there, whatever. And it was really bad at one point, and then it kind of died down. And even though it died down, it never really went away 100%. With this particular flare, one good thing about this particular flare is there's less oozing, which is a good thing. See, my neck has been like really just horrible, and I didn't talk about that in the last video, but most of the oozing was coming from around here in my neck. Now the oozing, I don't even want to go into explaining what the oozing is, and I'll be truthful with you because I need to read it over again to be able to explain it. It's just something where the vessels, they expand, get bigger, they start leaking out fluid, and it comes through your pores during this condition. Woo. I'm just glad during this particular flare this time around that the oozing is not as bad. It's like a little bit when I scratch, just a little bit wet, but not that bad, which is a really good thing, because in the beginning, when I first started oozing, I think that was like around month 4 or 5, I believe. I'm trying to remember exactly, I'm not too sure. That was awful. It was awful because you just felt wet, and it was disgusting, and I don't really want to go into it on this video. I really don't. But this particular symptom is absolutely horrible, as well as all the other symptoms. Okay, but I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you this. You're gonna laugh at me. One day at work, during another flare, I'm sitting at work, minding my own business, just mind my business, all hunched up like this because I was hurt and I was in pain. And I had my my little what do you call it, my sweater with kind of hoodie around a little bit, and I experienced something really strange. I kind of heard a little sound, like a little bit. It was coming from this area. It was coming from this area. And all of a sudden I felt something kind of spurt out a little bit and drip down down here. And I grabbed my mirror that I had on my desk really quick, that I haven't been using at all because I don't want to look at myself. It's just been sitting on my desk. It was right there, so I pulled it and I looked. Finally looked. I looked in the mirror and I kind of tilted it towards my neck, and there was this little waterfall of ooze coming right down in front of my neck. Immediately, I got up. First of all, I think I screamed, or I said something. It's on my blog somewhere when you read it. I did write about this particular incident on my blog, skinmisbehaving.com, by the way, skinmisbehaving.com. I got up, I ran to the bathroom, got paper towel, put it all over, I wrapped up my neck, looking ridiculous. My coworkers were like, "Tony, you okay? Do you want me to drive you home? Are you all right?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just leaking. I'm just leaking." Literally leaking. After that little incident, it was all right. Went home, it dried up. Do what it had to do. Dried up. Flaked off. Good gracious. I was starting this video off wanting to talk about the nerve pain. That's what I really want to talk about. The oozing, a little bit of that. You probably will hear about it later on in a different video, but anyway. The nerve pain and the shocks and the zingers and little pins and needles, hot pins and needles feeling that you get with this particular condition as well that I did not discuss in my first video. Yeah. It hurts. It is, ooh. Oh my goodness. You move a certain way, you're in pain. You bend down, you're in pain. You move the other way, you're in pain. You turn around, you're in pain. Twist around, you're in pain. Try to move your head, your neck, whatever, you're in pain. It's ridiculous. I'm like, how many symptoms can one person possibly have from a little bit of cream or a little bit of ointment or a teeny little peel, you know, little prednisone pills, little teeny little peel, or, you know, one of those shots, of course, you know, boom, right in your butt, whatever. Oh, there's like so many symptoms, and I'm going to go over the symptoms in another video as well. I'm going to separate all this, so yeah, because people need to know. They just need to know, period. Okay, we have to really spread awareness about this. Topical steroid withdrawal, topical steroid addiction, where your skin gets addicted, we keep feeling like you need it because it's not working, you keep feeling like you need more. All this, I mean, oh my God, it's just, my goodness. Anyway, getting back to the nerve pain, I'm sorry, getting back to the nerve pain. It's really bad. And like I said, hot pins and needles, the zingers, the zaps, everything. One day I was downstairs talking to someone, and all of a sudden I'm like this. And I'm like this. I'm like, goodness, even now it hurts. I'm like, oh my God. Oh. And it's like, it's that. Even now, it's hurting all around in here, all up around here, because that's in all of my upper chest, you know, area. And, you know, I mean, come on, really? The pain is extraordinary. And not only that, it's up here now, but it was actually down in my legs as well. You know, at night, I had to keep moving and tossing and turning. You know, in the very beginning stages, I could barely sleep. I would wake up and itching and burning. Your skin is burning, you know, because of this. And oh God, it is absolutely miserable. It really, really is. And I just wanted to talk about this real quick. You know, the only thing that has helped take the edge off the pain is a little bit of pain meds, like over-the-counter pain meds. Some people go to their doctors and they get a stronger pain medication, you know, because they don't want any pain at all. You know, they want to feel drowsy, just want to go to sleep or whatever. I'm the type of person where I actually have a pretty high tolerance for pain normally, but this kind of pain, oh my goodness, it's like, why? Why does there have to be this kind of pain and this much pain? I mean, it's awful. You know, it really is awful. And this week actually has been really difficult because of this flare. You know, this flare has been, you know, the whole nine, the nerve pain, the shedding, the flaking, a little bit of oozing, not as bad as before, which thank goodness it's tapering off. The oozing is tapering off. A little bit of oozing, sleepless, a little bit sleepless, not too bad. The really bad itching, intense, down to the bone itch, the kind of itch where you have to like really dig into your skin and just scratch. You just want to scratch and scratch it off. It's like, it's not a regular itch at all. Period. Okay? Imagine yourself scratching, just scratching until you bleed. That kind of itch. Okay? And not only that, on top of everything else, it's not only itching, it's burning. It's itching and burning. You scratch, it burns more. And it's a deep burn. Okay? Like a rug burn, deep burn. Okay? Now I'm starting to get angry. I'm starting to get angry because this is what we have to go through. This is what we have to go through coming off of that mess. It's ridiculous. And you know what? I might as well just tell you about some other symptoms I've had. Okay? The chills. Burr. Okay? Burr. Burr. Sitting there, mind your own doggone business, doing what you got to do, and all of a sudden you're like, goodness, my goodness. It's like that, okay? It literally is like that. No matter what you put on, you could be sitting directly in front of a heater. You could have a sweater on, you could have thermal underwear on, you could have layers of clothing on. It doesn't matter. You could be laying in bed with an electric blanket. It don't matter. When you have the chills that come and go as they please, by the way, when you have the chills, you're freezing. It feels like you're sitting out in the middle of the snow and ice somewhere in Antarctica or wherever. It's like, why does it have to be that extreme? Okay, every single one of the symptoms that we go through as topical steroid withdrawal sufferers or TSW sufferers, or red skin warriors, whatever you want to call us, okay? And by the way, the red skin, that's fine to name it that for people of the Caucasian persuasion, but for people of the darker skin persuasion, you know, the Asians and us, you know, people of color, all people of color, we turn like a brownish gray, and it's really dark, or like, you know, really, really so dark where you're like, man, that looks kind of black. But anyway, the chills are absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, these symptoms are extreme. It makes no sense for them to be this extreme. It just, I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it. Like, what were these scientists or whoever, what were they thinking about? What were they thinking about when they made this medication? Okay, were they thinking about the long-term effects? Did they think about the side effects? And why weren't they, you know what, they probably were thinking about the side effects. As a matter of fact, they probably figured, well, you know what, if a person gets addicted to the medication, that's kind of good for us because, well, you know, it's more money. You know, we're a pharmaceutical company, and, you know, we do generate billions of dollars each year, so it doesn't matter. You know, they'll, you know, when they use the medication, they'll be fine. They'll be clear for a while. You know, for the ones that get addicted, that's fine. Whatever. You know, we can just take their money, and, you know, whatever happens, happens. And then you hear like an assistant say, "But don't you feel that there would be a lot of people who maybe want to sue us? And do you think we should really be putting the public in danger?" And of course, you know, the head scientist, or whoever I didn't mention before, would probably say, well, you know, okay, fine, but, you know, there's got to be side effects to everything. You know, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, there's got to be side effects to everything. There's, you know, we're making billions of dollars, and oh my goodness, how much money are you getting paid a year again? You know, that type of conversation, or the conversation where they're saying, okay, what are the side effects? Well, here's what the side effects will probably be. All right, let's do you have your beaker? You have them drops over there? Okay, we got a listing of, they're right over there on the shelf. All those drops, yes. Every name for all the side effects are in those drops. Yes. Okay. I'm going to check mark off every single one of them, and you make sure you put the drops in that beaker, that little tube. Yes. Yes. Do that. Because we need to put that inside of the medication. Yes. Yes, we do. Yes. Yes, we do. Yes. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see here. Let me get my notepad. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Make sure you put at least, I don't know, 25 drops of sleepless nights. Yes. You got that? 25 drops. Yes, of sleepless nights. Oh, what was I thinking? 257 drops of chills. Yes. Yes, chill to the bone. Yes, chill to the bone. That's right over there, right next to pain and suffering. It's right over there. Oh, and yes, make sure you put nerve pain, extensive, +1 over there. Yes, it's right next to, okay, yes. It's right next to the red skin syndrome. That's next. Actually, pick up both of them so you can go ahead and put that, those drops, all those drops have to go in there. Yes, 357, yes. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Hold on. Make that 557. Yes. Yes. Okay. And with the nerve pain along, make sure you have shocks, zingers, and hot needle pin feelings. You know how they get? Yes. I can go on and on and on and on, and I can't anymore. I've been talking long enough. Y'all know how I feel. And like I said in my last video, for all the other sufferers of this hot mess, you definitely have my thoughts and my prayers. You know, you're in my prayers. Do your best to make yourself as comfortable as possible. See, I'm scratching right now. Do the best you can to make yourself as comfortable as possible. I'm going to have some tips later on in other videos about what I do to make myself comfortable as much as possible and still be able to work, because some people can't work, okay? But for the most part, I just wanted to kind of vent a little bit, talk to you a little bit, and I want to thank you for watching my video, and I will see you on the next one. All right? Take care.